So if you've been through phone interviews recently, you'll know that it's not straightforward to have a fruitful conversation with your interviewer because, it's someone whom you've never met before. So it's only natural that it can be challenging to build a conversation. So in my opinion, it's actually not the best idea for you to be humble in a phone interview. I don't believe it's the best strategy. It is a strategy some would want to employ, especially if they believe it is only a formality. But my experience has shown that it's never a formality to have a phone screening with a high-performing company. So if this is the case, then what can you do in order to further improve your chances to have a better outcome here? And in my opinion, the best approach you could have with the phone interview is to act like a salesman. A salesperson in the contemporary meaning of this term, a salesperson is supposed to be a great listener. So you must really pay attention to what they're actually trying to tell you. And another characteristic of a salesperson is that they don't try to control a conversation, but they try to manage these interviews, and it's that term of consultative sales process, right? So the communication, the conversation goes both ways, and try to keep your sales message quite straightforward, around 2 minutes, except of course if they tell you that they prefer longer answers, or if you feel like the way they talk, the way they communicate implies you having even longer answers, or it could also be on the other extreme where they are very reactive, and then you could also want to employ a more reactive approach with them. So keeping a sales mentality, I found to be a very efficient strategy in running a successful phone screening round. And last but not least, have a proper close for a phone screening interview. That is, you could simply ask them, "Hey, if I don't, can I call you back if I don't hear from you within 8 days, for example?" And it's not a bad thing if you ask this. It's just that you are asking for information. This is something perfectly fine if you remember to ask them these things. And even further, after you finish the call, send a thank you email, and you could even include some notes from the conversation, even adjust your performance using that thank you email for that. So, long story short, consider this strategy of acting like a salesman, particularly for phone screening route, to be more efficient than the one of being humble. Now, if you feel like you are in danger of not showing humble enough, you could literally use, "I'm humbly asking you if it's at all possible to call you back if I don't hear back from you within 8 days," for instance. But again, the overall strategy here, I believe, should be the ones of a salesperson.